Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. Patreon.com/babykangaroomedia for bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. The Joey Harris Super Show, The Green Room, The Book Club Baristas, so much more, just $5 a month for hours of entertainment. And for your first month, if you use the promo code Joey, you will get 20% off your purchase. But if you would like to just throw me a buck or two, I am on Cash App and Venmo at The Joey Harris, and also PayPal at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. And folks, back again here, trying to get ahead. My wife and I are going to Maine the last 2 weeks of June, so I'm trying to get ahead here so that I can have content while I am gone. So today, we take a look at In Your House from the WWF. In Your House was shown on pay-per-view on May the 14th, 1995, from Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse, New York. The show did 332,000 pay-per-view buys. The original concept of the In Your House series was that in the months when the promotion was not holding one of its then 5 major pay-per-view events, it would offer a 2-hour pay-per-view for a lower price. In Your House was established in response to a move by competitor World Championship Wrestling to increase its annual pay-per-view events. Before the event went live on pay-per-view, Jean-Pierre Lafitte defeated Bob Holly in a standard dark match. After the live pay-per-view went off the air, there were 3 more dark matches. The first match was a qualifier for the King of the Ring tournament between Davey Boy Smith and Owen Hart, managed by Jim Cornette. The match went to the 15-minute time limit draw. This match was taped for the June 5th episode of Raw. The second match was between Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka, which Bigelow won after diving off the top rope and hitting a sunset flip for the pin. This match was also included on the VHS home video release. The final match of the night was between The Undertaker and Kama in a standard match, which The Undertaker won after giving Kama a tombstone piledriver. While this match was not shown on pay-per-view, it was included as a bonus match on the VHS home video release. We start out with our intro. Vince McMahon and Doc Hendricks welcome us to In Your House. Michael Hayes has arrived in the WWF. They then introduce the Spanish announce team. We start out with Hakushi with Shinja versus Bret Hart. They flash back to what led up to the match. Hakushi and Shinja out first. Todd Pettengill talks to Bret Hart. Hart says Hakushi is a great wrestler, but he's never faced Bret Hart. He dedicates this match to his mother. Hart with a great reaction when he comes out. He does the sunglasses presentation. The bell rings and they circle each other. Hakushi with a side headlock. They trade moves. Test of strength. More moves exchanged. Hakushi with a shoulder block. He gets an armbar on. He works on the arm. Hart gets a roll up for a 2 count. Hart with a wrist lock. Hart with a series of hip tosses. Hakushi rolls out to regroup. Hakushi chops Hart down. Hart runs Hakushi into a turnbuckle. Hakushi with a corner whip and a moonsault for a 2 count. Hakushi with a modified clutch and a Bronco Buster. He hits some throat thrusts. Hart dumped outside when he was attacked by Shinja. Hakushi continues the attack in the ring. Shinja distracts referee Timmy White so that Hakushi can attack and pull Hart's hair. Shinja then chokes Hart on the second rope. Hakushi with a corner whip and a springboard back elbow. Hakushi with a gut wrench backbreaker. Hakushi hits a diving headbutt for a 2 count. He misses a springboard splash when Hart moves. Hart with a leg sweep for a 2 count. He hits a bulldog for another 2 count. He then hits a backbreaker on the second rope elbow. Hart goes for the sharpshooter, but Shinja gets on the ropes to distract him. Hart gets Shinja off and hits an inverted atomic drop and a clothesline. Hart gets Hakushi on the ropes and Shinja trips Hart. Hart hits a suicide dive on Shinja, but gets attacked by Hakushi. Hart reverses a suplex and both men spill to the outside. Shinja grabs Hart and they start fighting. Hakushi hits a moonsault onto Hart. They exchange moves back in the ring, and Hart gets the win with a victory roll. It looks like he twists his ankle when he was getting out of the ring. Todd Pettengill gets approached by Jerry Lawler, who says he wants Hart in the ring now. Stephanie Wyan talks about all the entries received for the house giveaway. 2-on-1 handicap match, Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie. Jarrett and Roadie out first. Vince McMahon talks to Razor Ramon. He says it's been 2-on-1 against Roadie and Jarrett since day one. He says this is for him and the injured 1-2-3 kid. Ramon with a big ovation when he comes out. The bell rings and they try to double team Ramon. Jarrett starts against Ramon. He attacks Ramon with shots. Ramon comes back and knocks Jarrett out of the ring. Jarrett gets back in and attacks Ramon. He misses a drop kick and Ramon hits a clothesline. They fight outside and the Roadie attacks Ramon from behind. Jarrett hits some corner whips and an enziguri. Ramon gets a fallaway slam, but Roadie breaks up the pin. Roadie tagged in and hit a clothesline. He drops some knees on Ramon and Jarrett tagged back in. He and Roadie exchange some pin attempts. Ramon with a small package for a 2 count. Roadie tagged back in. He attacks Ramon. Roadie and Jarrett double team Ramon. Ramon hits Jarrett, who backdrops out of a Razor's Edge attempt and lands outside. Roadie goes to attack Ramon and clotheslines him from the second rope. Ramon beats the count in. Ramon gets a 2 count off of a crossbody roll through. Jarrett chokes Ramon on the second rope. He misses a leapfrog body guillotine when Ramon moves. They collide in the ring and both men are down. A double count going. They get up but collide again. Roadie tagged in. He drops the knee and gets a 2 count. Roadie with a rear chin lock. Ramon fights out. He slams Roadie down. Jarrett tagged in. Back and forth. Ramon Irish whips Jarrett into Roadie. Ramon with a belly-to-back suplex to the Roadie. Jarrett clips Ramon's knee and goes for the figure 4. Ramon kicks Jarrett into the Roadie. Ramon hits the Razor's Edge on Jarrett to get the pin. Ramon then goes to hit the Razor's Edge on the Roadie, but Jarrett clips the leg again and puts the figure 4 on. Aldo Montoya comes in to help Ramon but gets beaten down. An unknown man comes in and attacks Jarrett and the Roadie. It's the debut of Savio Vega. We then get officials out to break it up. We get a King of the Ring ad. Jerry Lawler is shown arguing with WWF President Jack Tunney. A feature on Sid, and then Barry Dudinsky shows a Bret Hart t-shirt that they have on sale. King of the Ring qualifying match, Mabel with Mo versus Adam Bomb. Bomb popular with the crowd when he comes out. Mabel attacks Bomb. The bell rings and Mabel splashes Bomb in the corner. He misses a charge when Bomb moves. He knocks Mabel out and hits a suicide dive to Mabel. He slingshots Mabel in and gets a 1 count. He hits a top rope clothesline for a 1 count. He attacks Mabel. Mabel catches Bomb and slams him to get the pin. Todd Pettengill interviews Razor Ramon, who introduces Savio Vega. Savio says no one is going to mess with him and Razor Ramon. WWF Tag Team Championship match, Owen Hart and Yokozuna with Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji versus the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart. Before the match starts, Jerry Lawler tries to get his match with Bret Hart started, but gets sent to the back. Bret is shown in the back with an ice pack on his knee. Yokozuna waves the Japanese flag. Yoko and Billy start. Billy hits several drop kicks. Bart tagged in. Yoko with a headbutt and Owen tagged in. He hits a corner whip. Bart comes back with a press slam. Billy tagged in and they double team Owen for a 2 count. Owen hits an enziguri on Billy. Yoko tagged in and chops Billy down. He hits a snapmare and puts a nerve hold on. Owen tagged in and hit a net breaker. Owen hits an enziguri and Billy falls out of the ring. Yoko hits the ring post outside when Billy moves on a splash attempt. Bart tagged in. He hits a back elbow. He hits a belly-to-back suplex. Billy tagged in and they hit a hanging neck breaker for a 2 count. Bart misses a crossbody when Owen ducks and lands outside. Yoko hits a leg drop on Bart. He rolls Bart back in and Owen gets the pin. Todd Pettengill talks to Diesel. He says this is his first Mother's Day without his mother. He says Henry Godwin's attack on him on behalf of the $1 Million Corporation didn't affect him. And he says he is ready for Sid. Jerry Lawler is in the ring with a young woman that he calls his mother. Todd Pettengill talks to Bret. He says the leg is 100% and he pulled a ruse on Lawler. Jerry Lawler versus Bret Hart. Lawler runs from Hart. The bell rings and they fight outside. Lawler ran into the announce table, the barricade, and the ring steps. Hart keeps up the assault on Lawler. Lawler comes back with a pile driver. Hart comes back with shots and a bulldog. Hart hits a pile driver. Hart chokes Lawler on the bottom rope. Lawler comes back with an eye rake and a scoop slam. He gets caught coming off the top rope. Hart attacks Lawler. Shinja comes out and gets on the apron. The referee comes over to get him down and gets caught on the ropes when Hart and Lawler slam into them. Hakushi comes out and attacks Hart. Hakushi hits several diving headbutts. Lawler rolls Hart up to get the pin. His mom celebrates. Hart fights off the heels. Sid tells Diesel that time has run out for him. Todd and Stephanie then choose a number to call and give the home away. Mark Pompanelli wins. He is so excited. His parents later sold the house for $175,000 6 months later. Vince and Doc preview the main event, WWF Championship match, Diesel versus Sid with Ted DiBiase. Sid and DiBiase out first. Diesel gets a great reaction when he comes out. His theme song always reminded me of the Roseanne theme. Sid comes over to yell at Vince McMahon for calling Sid psycho. The bell rings and they are face to face. They go back and forth. Diesel with a corner clothesline and a back elbow. Sid rolls out to regroup. Diesel comes out after him and knocks him down. Diesel gets Sid down on the inside and gets a 1 count. Diesel continues the assault. A high knee from Sid knocks Diesel to the outside and he falls. Sid rams Diesel's back into a ring post and hits a running kick to Diesel. Diesel gets in and Sid beats him down and targets the back. Sid hits the back elbow. Sid tells the crowd that he rules the world. Sid works on Diesel's back. Sid puts the camel clutch on Diesel. The crowd cheers Diesel to get out. Sid slams down on Diesel when Diesel tries to get out. Sid gets a 2 count. He goes back to the camel clutch. Diesel's hand doesn't drop the 3rd time. Diesel fights back. Sid chokeslams Diesel. Sid powerbombs Diesel. Diesel kicks out at 2. Diesel ran into a turnbuckle. Diesel hits Snake Eyes, a big boot, and the jackknife when Tatanka comes in and attacks Diesel to cause the disqualification. Sid goes for another powerbomb, but Bam Bam Bigelow comes in and runs the heels off. Diesel celebrates with the crowd as the announcers hype King of the Ring and sign off from Syracuse. Final thoughts. This was a quick show that's worth at least one watch. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review in iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We could also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.